More Treasure Valley renters are looking for help to help them avoid eviction. Rental assistance nonprofit Jesse Tree tells us they're helping up to 40 clients facing an eviction in court every week, and that's twice of what they normally see. So it's up big. But even if Jesse Tree works to help someone pay their bills, there's no guarantee that the landlord will accept the payment, and legally they don't have to. What do you mean by this? Well, what does this look like for a real Idahoan? We spoke with Danette Brookshire, and she tells us that she lives in a trailer with her 3 kids. They own the physical building that they live in, but they do pay rent for the lot, the land they're living on. And times are tough. In the month of August, Danette says that her divorce was finalized, and she tells us that thankfully she's on very good terms with her ex-husband, but the process was very expensive. And she's further strapped for cash after she lost her job. Again, all in the month of August. So she reached out to St. Vincent de Paul for rental assistance and finally caught a break. They agreed to help her pay for rent for a whole month. But once St. Vincent de Paul went to pay the landlord said, no, I'm not accepting the money. They say the money has to come from Danette, not a third party.
Like, I literally don't, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I have someone here willing to pay my rent and you won't take the payment. I really don't understand it.
Unless the lease agreement says differently, usually the tenant is required to pay the rent, and landlords are not necessarily legally obligated to take money from somebody else.
And Andrew Bartline joins me right now. And Andrew, as 208 viewers know, you've been working on this story all week. And we touched on it and just heard from Ali Rabe with Jesse Tree in Boise how legally landlords do not need to accept rent from third parties. And some landlords simply say that they don't find the method reliable enough and they really want tenants that aren't at risk of missing payments. And we heard from landlords in recent days who said that we were being too hard on them here on Channel 7 and painting an unfair picture about the situation. Did they want to share their side of the story with you today? I know that you were reaching out to landlords to say, okay, what's the other part of the story?
Well, that's the tough part, Joe. For the last 48 hours, we've been trying to reach out to landlords and, of course, get their sides of the story. It's a process that sounds easy in practice, but I mentioned for the last 48 hours, it's what we've been trying to do. It can be very difficult when people don't want to speak with you, and we tried the day of as well. Couldn't get a landlord the day we ran that story too, at least not on camera or at least not on the record. I have spoken with several landlords over the past couple days over the phone, through email, through text message. We got several messages here at the station. Now this is one that was a reaction to the story that Joe just mentioned. Now it's a lengthy one, it's nearly 400 words. We'll try to break it down for you. So we'll start right at the top. It says, hi, I just saw your story about evictions and rental assistance. And as a landlord of over 220 doors that I operate, everything on my own, I can clearly say that you are biased in this story and not telling the full story of what a landlord goes through as what you would like to portray a tenant endures with rental assistance. The fact that you're saying most people apply for assistance one time and that's it, I find this highly incorrect. We got that information from Jesse Tree, to be clear. Now, the message goes on to say, I would be curious to know as to why you do not include the fact that many landlords or owners do not want to work with the tenant that has also caused many issues or does not want to take care of the property to the standards of what their lease agreement reads. Once a tenant is having trouble providing the rent, the landlord has the option to have them out and start fresh with a better tenant that will not cause damage or many issues. Why would you not provide all angles? Well, this was a message we got right after that story ran, Joe. And the difficulty is when people don't want to talk with you on camera, there's not a whole lot that we can do. You know, people will reach out to us and say that I want to talk to you about this problem or that problem. Okay, well, let's hear from you. Can you explain the nuance to us? You're someone who lives this experience. When these people won't talk to us, there's not a whole lot we can do. We know there's a deeper level to this story because landlords got bills too. They need their tenants to pay them. But if they're not willing to talk to us, we can't understand and explain that angle.
Well, again, the invitation's out there. If you're a landlord, Andrew would love to talk to you. But the 208 is going to step aside. We'll be back right after this.